Okay, so I just wanted to recommend a little book for you. As quite a bit of my teaching is based on Somatics by Thomas Hanna. Somatics by Thomas Hanna. And when we talk about things like posture, maybe you think about the old-fashioned putting books on top of your head, walking around with books on top of your head, and stand up straight, girls, and walking as if you've got a stick down your back, ramrod straight, like a military type posture, yes, which lifts your rib cage and maybe tightens up the back of your neck. So this is a lovely book. There's some exercises in it as well. But the bit I wanted to talk to you about was how you respond to the world around you. So there is a red light reflex and a green light reflex. So if you're under a lot of worry, stress, anxious, withdrawing from the world, the red light reflex can look a little bit like that. You see that? So you can see there's a lot of tightness in the gut, tucking under, the head coming forward, tightness in the neck, which creates a lot of issues in the neck, but also with the muscles in the back, probably on a bit of a stretch there in the lower back, but you're going to have tightness around here. So restriction with the breathing as well, and feeling like, ooh, like you're trying to almost, like if you're walking down the road and there's a car that backfires, you have that reflex, that reaction to that, as if you're trying to protect yourself as that happens. So you're withdrawing, it's like, ooh. And that's happening a lot at the moment with the pandemic. We're feeling like we're trying to, oh, I don't want to watch the news, or oh, it's withdrawing from it, or I don't want to go out, I don't want to wear a mask, and stay away from me, you're less than a metre away from me, and I don't know if I want to go into the supermarket. So you have this withdrawal response, and very much around here in the chest becomes quite tight, and the mid-back here between your shoulder blades probably gets a bit more of a stretch, and so it gets a little bit more inhibited. And the chin might go forward, you get this tightness around the neck and in the jaw, and it creates a lot of issues in the pelvic floor as well. So the red light reflex, and then you have opposite to that, the green light reflex, which is the one, can you see that in the bottom there? Whoa, look at that back. Tension, tension. So green light reflex is more about on the go, got things to do, busy, 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 very important. Got to be here, got to be there, got to be doing this, got to be doing that. Very much of you feel as if you're pulling backwards to create this on-the-go expression, as if you've got to look forwards and seeing where you're going, and you've always got something in your to-do list to be getting on with. So sometimes we can be a mixture of both. As you get older, you have a mixture of both of those. A mixture of red light and green light reflexes, which becomes, here, I don't really want to call it senile, but it just say that in the book. So with a red light reflex dominance, you can end up looking like this. And I've seen quite a few older people looking like this, shuffling along. And with the dominance of the green light reflex, it looks a little bit like that. Shuffling, this rigid tightness in the back, unable to really bend, have flexibility in the ribs. And this is all really a reaction of your perception of what's going on in the world around you. It's very interesting. And there's a few exercises in the book. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to follow. The pictures are a little bit dark. Maybe you have to study them and work through them and practice them. But it's really understanding a lot of, at the beginning of the book, a lot of text about the red light reflex, the green light reflex, and the muscular reflexes of stress, and how we see the outside world and how your brain holds on to stress and how that translates in your body. The body is speaking. If you find it hard to express emotion, if you find it hard to express your anger, your worry, your fear, if you're not happy with somebody, how you talk about it, if you're not happy doing that, your emotions end up being stored, and maybe you've got a tight gut, maybe you have issues in your digestion, maybe your hips are tight, maybe your toes are a little bit bent like that, maybe your shoulders are up, maybe one higher than the other, maybe your jaw is tight, and maybe it's because, not always because you just happen to have a tight shoulder or happen to have a tight gut. Just notice how you're perceiving what's going on around you. Who do you spend time with? What books are you reading? What music do you listen to? Are you kind to yourself? Do you have a massage every now and then? Do you find time to go and do things that you want to go and do that make you happy? Do you sleep well? Do you hydrate well? Do you drink water? Are you eating lots of green veggies? Do you go for a walk every now and then during the day? Do you get 10 minutes, just go for a walk? How do you de-stress so it can come out of being stored in the body? A little thought for you today. So it's not just all about must work my core and must massage my shoulders to get that to drop. Like, what is going on between your ears? How is your body keeping the score of your stress levels and how you feel about yourself? Lessons that you've learned since you were a little kid, that you were taught subconsciously as you were growing up, if you were listened to, if you were allowed to express yourself, or if you were kept quiet, or were told not to speak, or weren't really heard because your parents were very stressed, if they had stressful jobs, if they weren't around very much, or if you felt just that you didn't fit in. Maybe you had an older sibling who was brighter than you, and you didn't feel like you didn't quite match the expectations of what your parents were looking for. The little things that would have happened during the growing up period of your life that affects how you see the world now, and where everything gets stored inside. Pelvic floor could be tight, maybe how you withdraw from that and you tuck under, this tuck under position with your pelvis, or if your pelvis is overly arched. So it's not always about having the correct posture as you sit and all of that stuff. Actually, what is going on between your ears that affects how you hold your body. Anyway, hope that's helped you think about things today. Take care.